Yo, what is up? It is your boy FinState with CB83A coming to you for another banger of a show. You know the vibes will be unmatched tonight. Quick show discussing some of the signings we had today. The Miami Dolphins are still making moves, people. Still making moves. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The homie Canes was in here first. Y'all jump in that chat right now, man. Jump in the chat. I want to see the fins up. Salute to the homie Canes. He says, salute CB83 and everyone. Let's get this thing cracking. Let's go, man. Bring the energy. 15 in the room. Punch the like on your way in. Let's get this thing going, man. S. Harris, I see you. Finally a host. Not on any BS played out rhetorics or conspiracy theories. Just straight football talk, dog. You know how we get down, man. Shout out to the homie S. Harris. The members gang is in the building. The mod squad is here. Raul P is in the building. Let's go, man. Let's get it. Shout out to the homies, man. Let's get this thing cracking. Oh, Louis Amador, the Rabbi Dolphin in the building. He says that's Cap. Hey, S. Harris know what time it is. Boy, you better get your game up, Lou. Get your game up, dog. You already know what time it is, man. Shout out to y'all boys. We about to crank this thing. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I sold them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
Yo, what is up? It's your boy FinState with CB83 coming to you for another banger of a show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. We cranking 64 in the room right now. We got a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on YouTube. Let's go. Let's get it popping, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the homie Canes who was in here first. We gotta go up for the homie Canes. Let's get it. Let's crank it. Sir, shout out to the homie Canes in here first, showing love. I appreciate you, my boy. I appreciate the homie S. Harris in the building. Raul P's in the building. Hey, even the Rabbi Dolphin is in the building. What's good with you, Lou? Shout out to the homie Lou. Lansing Moore is in the building. Yes, sir. We drinking on that good bourbon, Lansing. That good bourbon. Fins up. Hey, AZ is in the building. Shout out to the homie Danny Aguayo from AZ, man. Pull up. Phoenix, Flagstaff, all that, baby. We out there. Mudbone's in the building. What's good with you, Mudbone, man? It's good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while, man. You know we turning up tonight. You know we turn it up. Dolphins had a couple signings today, add a couple pieces. Greer in the kitchen cooking. He's chefing like curry on the pots. Shout out to the homie, man. Mudbone in the building. He said S. Harris, he's a clown, bro. Hey, why? Hey, Lou, you getting kicked off panels on Pete's show? What is going on, dog? What is going on, bro? Tell me it ain't so.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I can't believe Pete doing you like that, man. Shout out to the homie Pete, man. But Pete got to let my dog Lou live out there, man. You kicking him off the panels. What's going on, Pete? Somebody get Pete in the room, man. We need answers, Pete. We need answers. Why you kicking the homie Lou off the panel? That's crazy. Pete doing them dirty. That's wild, bro. Shout out to Pittsburgh Dolphin in the building. Shout out to you, man. The homie in real life. I gotta give a shout out to the members gang, man. We gotta get the members gang in here, give them their shout out. You know how we do, man. Hey, we got a couple new members too, man. Got a couple new members, man. We about to give y'all the rundown right now. Shout out to the captains. First and foremost, the captains, Kevin Lee and Glenn Paliker. And then we got Hooked Up Joe. Actually, let me go in this direction. We got Raul P, who's been in there for 2 months. Raul P, been a day oneer. Honestly, he's been there longer than that. Big Slick, Triple S Podcast, S Harris, Newfoundland, Shake Money, Dub MCs, Cap for Life, G, Pittsburgh Dolphins 72, Dolphins Highlights, Q, Adam Sadowski, and Hooked Up Joe. And then again, we got the captains, Kevin Lee and Glenn Pallaker. So appreciate you guys. Hey, supporting the channel. Hit the $ below. That's how you join the membership. If you want to donate, you can donate using that link in the chat as well. Hey, all the donations are greatly appreciated. We working over here, man. I got some stuff in the works. I already hit my graphics guy. He's working for me. He's doing this thing. I'm gonna take care of him too. I owe him a nice bottle. I owe him a nice bottle because he's doing his thing on the graphics. So appreciate y'all boys, man. That Woodford Reserve Double Oaked is pretty nice. I like Woodford. Woodford got some good stuff, man. Shout out to Woodford Reserve. They do some good stuff. Man, you see, I got some stuff back there. I got that King back there. I got some Stags, some Willets, some Purple Tops, some Four Roses, some Old Fits, Little Heaven Hill. Man, you know how we get down. We do it all, man. We do it all. My man Lou said it was casual hour up there. No pressure from Pete. Wow. Okay. I see you. I see you. My man Glenn Pallaker says seems like more creator. Seems like more creator drama. Oh yeah. Nah, none of that. You know, they just messing around. They ain't doing nothing crazy. But shout out to everybody in the building. What did you guys think of the signings today? So we signed a special teams ace in Saran Neal, and we also signed a big defensive tackle from the Dallas Cowboys, Neville Gallimore. And we're going to get into a little bit of what these signings look like. He said, how you find that king? Hey, you gotta be special to find them kings, man. Hey, if y'all see them kings in the wild, just know you better scoop it, because them kings don't come through. Them kings don't come through too often, man. You got to find them kings. Them kings is special. They special. But shout out to everybody. Hey, so what's up with these signings, man? Let's get into Twitter. I want to share something with you guys real quick. Take a look at some of the stuff I saw on Twitter today. We get a chance to look at the some of the guys we signed. Get to take a look at them. Let's do that real quick. Let me share the screen with you. Bang bang. All right, bet that. So that's perfect right there. All right, cool. So wanted to share this with you guys. So our first signing today was Saran Neal from the Buffalo Bills. So the day after signing Jordan Poyer, we go ahead and sign Saran Neal, who's a special teams ace for the Buffalo Bills. We need some good special teams players. So I'm happy with the signing, and I see them trying to round out the roster in the right way. And that's what it's about at this point. We're trying to put together a roster that can win some games. We want to win some games. And you're not going to be able to win games by just putting guys on offense and defense. You're going to need some guys to play some special teams and really just be really good at what they do, right? Be really good at doing their job. That's important. Sometimes you won't always get the best guys, right? But you need to get guys who are just really good at what they do and who specialize in their craft, right? With Saran Neal, special teams ace. This is him signing his contract today.
What's up, Fins family? It's Saran Neal. Just signed my contract.
So, and check this out. This is him, Saran Neal, right? Saran Neal. He give us a little shout out right here. Check it out.
What's up, Fins family? It's Saran Neal. Just signed my contract. I'm very happy to be here. Ready to go to work. Let's do it. I'm just real excited. Beautiful weather here. Fins up. What's up, Fins
Let's
family?
go, man. Let's go. I like it. So the Miami Dolphins signed Saran Neal, and this is B Show's Twitter. If y'all don't follow Bobby Shouse on Twitter, what are you doing? Like, you're not a Dolphins fan if you don't follow Bobby Shouse on Twitter. Dude is up to date with everything. Now, the Miami Dolphins also signed D tackle Neville Gallimore. He reunites with the D-line coach Austin Clark in Miami. Fins up. Now, this was an interesting signing. This literally just came across the wire. Literally just came across the wire. I actually hit my boy about this, my boy DMV Fanatic, who's a Cowboys YouTube content creator. And he was like, I was like, what do you think of the signing? It was like decent. And he was like, he's actually at a basketball game right now watching Maryland play. But he was like, man, it's a solid signing. I was like, is he a camp body? And he was like, nah, he's definitely gonna get reps, right? He's definitely gonna get some run. So Neville Gallimore isn't a camp body at all. This is a guy who's gonna get some run in our defense. Seems like to be a decent signing. Maybe he gets in and balls out within the scheme. Maybe he's just a guy, a rotational piece who comes in, clogs holes, does what he needs to do. But I mean, he seems pretty athletic. I saw a video of him running his 40. Big dude, ran a 4.79 at the combine, right? First run was a 4.85. His second run was a 4.79. So sub 4.8 40. Your boy's got he's got some wheels on him for a big dude. Definitely got some wheels on him for a big dude. So we had some other signings today. We saw the Bills picked up Mac Hollins, who was an old Dolphin player. I see some guys rallying for Tre'Davious White to Miami. But I think it was a solid day when it comes to roster moves, right? Now, we also released quarterback Xavier Howard. It's official. He's no longer a Miami Dolphin. I know we hate to see him go, right? Hate to see him go, but it was time. It was time. You see TD on here crying about that. No, why? It's okay, TD. You'll be all right, man. You'll be all right, TD. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. DG Live. Check out the homie DG Live on Twitter. That's the homie too. He says 4 sacks in 4 years. Laugh out loud. Aren't we trying to get to the quarterback? That boy is funny. Hey, some of these D linemen ain't gotta be sack guys. And that's what I want, a guy who's just going to be a hole stuffer, run stopper. I need my edges. My edges should be getting to the quarterback, to be completely honest with you. And this is Neil right here running that 40-yard dash. He was moving. Check him out. Moving pretty good.
Even better.
Moving pretty good for a big boy. Moving pretty good for a big boy, man. But yeah, that's that. So what do you guys think of the signings today? What do you think of free agency so far? Let's do this. If you could grade free agency so far based on what we lost and what we gained, what would you grade us out at right now? What would you grade us out at right now if you could grade the Miami Dolphins and their free agency so far? And I had a couple posts today I wanted to show too. I'm gonna show a couple posts too. But what's your grade so far? Shout out to Red, White, and Bills. What's going on? He's a CB. What's up? What's up, Lou and Hooked Up Joe? What's good with you? Lansing Moore in the building. Red, White, and Bills. Send Josh Allen Green ass our way. We won't mind taking this. Whoa, okay. Adam Sadowski in the building. New members gang in the building. Shout out to the homie Adam Sadowski. Hooked Up Joe in the building. What's up, Red, White, and Bills? Interested to see your takes on the Bills' offseason moves. We expected the June 1st cut on X. Yep, we expected that. Lewis Jones, I see you in here with the B. Okay, you giving us the B on the grade. Okay, I like it. Hooked Up Joe gives us an A- for good measure. Okay. Genetic, I see you. 94, you got a C+. Raul P says a B. Cliff D gives him a D+. Lansing Moore is between that B- and C+ area. Mabo says Lou was cooking on Pete's stream. Man, he got PA. Pete got Lou up out of there, boy. Got Lou up out the paint. Shout out to fans TD23. What's up, CB83? What's good? Cap for life in the building. What's good, Cap? Gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. Cap says it's a C+. With that being said, we're still not done, in my opinion. We're still not done. We got the Ramsey restructure done. We signed a few guys, and I wanted to pull up this. Let me do this. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Before I pull that up, let me go ahead and shout out the dog, the homie. Shout out to Pittsburgh Dolphins 72 with the $5 donation. I appreciate you, my guy. Solid signings. Hate to see the boys leave, but we aren't winning with them. Might as well reshuffle and see if we could get a better hand. There you go. That's the motto. That's the motto right there, man. We weren't winning with them. Reshuffle a deck, get another hand, and let that thing play out. That's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. Shout out to the homie, man. Let's go up for the homie. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. I see you. Mudbone says a B. Hooked Up Joe says D, adding the plus. Utah Fin fans in the building. What's good with you over there on Twitter? My dog always be holding it down on the Twitter side. If y'all want to go holler at Utah Fin fans on the Twitter side, do that. I encourage y'all to come to YouTube. It's a better flow. We get you subscribed. Come over here, be a subscriber. Man, come on, man. Join the family. Join the family over here. Glenn says counting the losses again, C plus, but we starting to get it. But we get a starting guard, we would be a lot higher. Okay. I like that. I like that. Cap says the damage has already been done. We move forward in this window year. Yep, we do that. Fence TD23 says CB is Calais Campbell a good option to take over for. I like Calais Campbell. He's a veteran, played in big time football games, played on big time rosters, played with the Jags, played with Arizona, played with a number of different teams. I like Calais Campbell. I think he'd be a good stopgap or a good bridge between him and a younger guy we may draft. So I think that would be a perfect play. I think that would be a perfect play. And I think he could come in and play well. Reshuffling may wake cats up to get them refocused. That's another thing too. That's a really good observation, right? When you see cats start to leave the building who've been there a long time, you like, damn, like, this may not be the same thing as it was before. This is going to be a different team, right? So and that's what I said the other day on my stream. I was like, man, these may not be McDaniel guys, right? McDaniel didn't draft a lot of these guys that are leaving the building right now. Sometimes that happens. He needs to get guys in who fit his mold, fit his mentality, and guys that are guys that he brought in, right? So he's gonna need to let some of those guys walk in order to get the new guys in. You got to get the new guys in. You got to shuffle the deck. You got to get some new leadership in there. It's good to shuffle things up. Guys need to be able to know that, hey, my position here isn't guaranteed. I still got to go out there and perform. Still got to go perform, right? It's like when somebody new comes into the locker room. It's a filling out process, right? You want them to gel. You want them to get into it. But now you have a bunch of new guys coming into the locker room. It's going to bring a new mentality. Hey, I don't know what y'all used to around here, but I'm bringing a winning mentality to the football team. We're trying to win games. We're trying to go make a run at this thing. You get guys like Shaq Barrett, guys who've been around the block. Jordan Poyer's played some big-time football in the playoffs, right? Shaq Barrett's played big-time football in the playoffs. Jonnu Smith has made plays, right? He's played in the playoffs too. Like, so with these guys coming in, Jordan Brooks, like, bro, we going to have some dogs, bro. We're going to have some dogs in our locker room. It's just a matter of them coming together and say, hey, let's go out here and put it on the line. Let's go out here and be physical, get after it up front, and go get these dubs. Go get these dubs. Hooked Up Joe says, I like the low-key year so far. Got some comp picks next year, guys we can develop, and some cheap vets. For sure. For sure. That's what I think it's about. Let me do this. I wanted to present this real quick. Share screen. Twitter. There we go. Share that. All right. I wanted to show you guys this graphic real quick. Let me take this off the screen. So you see here, Chris Kaufman, and this is on my Twitter right here. Go check your boy out on Twitter. Fins Take, baby. Fins Take, baby. So Chris Kaufman tweeted this out. Shaq Barrett, $9 million, including incentives. Jordan Brooks, 8.8. Aaron Brewer, $7 million. Jonnu Smith, 4.2. Jordan Poyer, $2 million. Anthony Weaver, Anthony Walker, Isaiah Mack 1.1, Davion Nixon 1 million, and then you add Saron Neal to this, and you add Neville Gallimore to this. And it said that's about $34 million on 8 players. Christian Wilkins alone would have cost us $28 million. So you got to look at what Chris Grier is doing. Chris Grier is working right now. I don't know who y'all used to talking to in regards to Miami Dolphins stuff, but y'all got to stop playing with Chris Grier's name. You got to stop playing with his name out here. Call Chris Grier the magician. Dude is doing work, right? And it's not every day you can get solid players in on cheap deals and still make it work and be able to plug and play guys. So that's what we're hoping. We'll see, man. We'll see. My man Fence TD23 says, I think we should trade up for Dallas Turner to eventually replace Chubb and take over while he is gone now. And edge is going to be something we look for in the draft. I can guarantee you that. I've talked about this. These prime positions, I want you to understand that there are certain guys that are on the outside, kind of on islands by themselves, right? And those guys are like the receivers and the cornerbacks, right? Receivers and cornerbacks. They are the tackles and the edges, right? Those tackles and those edge defenders are out on the island by themselves trying to win one-on-one matchups. And the same with the receivers and the cornerbacks, right? Those are considered to be premium positions. So those are positions that the Miami Dolphins will target every year in the draft, right? Because those guys are on an island by themselves performing one-on-one. Now, the guards, the interior linemen, the center, they can get away with being hid in the middle, right? They can kind of hide. They could get help. They can get assistance, right? The linebackers and safety, they're kind of getting hidden. They're getting assistance from the safeties being on top of them, the corners being around them, and the D-line being in front of them, right? You got to think of it like chess, right? So those guys are kind of protected, the linebackers. Those cornerbacks and those receivers out on that island by themselves, they're their own chess piece. They're out there playing out wide. Those are guys you need really good players at. Those are premium positions, right? So I expect us to target cornerbacks. I expect us to target edge. I expect us to target maybe wide receiver. And just the way our offensive line is built right now, we're definitely going to have to get some interior help. And that's because we've let guys like Robert Hunt walk. And sometimes that's the case. Sometimes you got to do that. I think never in a million years will people expect Robert Hunt to get the contract he got, but he got it. So what we got to do now is we just got to adjust. We got to, go out there and find a player to develop, find a player to draft, or find a player in free agency we can get in here for the cheap who can kind of fill that void and become a player at that position, right? So that's kind of how that works. Utah Fin Fan says we signed 4 players with that money that we would have given Wilkins. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Grier is cooking.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
Grier is cooking, dog. He's cooking, man. Grier is kicking. Yes, he is, man. He is. He said Spliff hates Grier. Tighten up, Spliff. Hey, tell Spliff to come around here so he can catch this knowledge, man. Tighten up, Spliff. Be better, man. Be better, bro. Chris Grier, that dude, man. Chris Grier out here making it happen. He a magician with it. Cap for Life says it's good bang for your buck value. Definitely, Cap. 2-year deals mean they need to pan out, meaning this is the year. Yeah, these guys got to come in and make plays this year for sure, right? We want these dudes to come in and be players right away. These guys are veterans. They've been in the league for a while. You know your job. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know how to play. Obviously, we've seen you on film make plays. Now it's just a matter of getting around this other group of guys, making plays within the system, doing your job, winning your individual battles, right? So we can go out here and win this war. That's what it's about at this point. Go out here, win your individual battle, so we can go out here and win this damn war. That's what it's about. Caps for Life says this signifies that rebuild is next year. Nah, ain't no rebuilding, bro. We're going to get this chip, dog. We're going to get this chip, and we're going to re-sign what we got because we're going back to back Do we go get this dub?
I hope so.
Yeah. Ain't no rebuild, Cap. Ain't no rebuild. It ain't no rebuild because we're going to get this chip this year, bro. Rebuild.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Nah, we're going to get it, man. My man Pittsburgh Dolphins says maybe not going big and winning the offseason will translate to better results. And there you go, man. Like Miami Dolphins, we got to learn from history. We got to learn from history, right? When the best quarterback hasn't always got us a Super Bowl. The best defense hasn't always got us a Super Bowl. The best offense hasn't always got us a Super Bowl. The best team has. We got to start learning from past history and start saying, hey, let's just build a really good team. It's not about one position being the best in the league or being the worst. It's about having some balance, right? And playing complementary football for an entire season, right? So if the offense isn't playing great, because guys, there's going to be games where the offense doesn't play great. It just happens. Every year there's going to be games where the offense isn't playing well. Hey, when the offense isn't playing well, we need the defense to fire that shit up. We need them to step up. And when the defense isn't playing well, guess what you need? You need the offense to step it up. You need them to be ready to go. You need them to be making plays. Hey, D, we got you. We're going to figure it out, right? We know y'all can't get a stop right now, but we're going to go out here and put points on the board. That's what you need. And you need that fire and you need that grit. You need that willingness to will yourself to a win, right? And I think that's why the Miami Dolphins are fine with the reshuffle, right? Because they're like, man, we didn't really have the attitude, the willingness, the grit. There needs to be a purge of the roster, to be completely honest with you. There were a lot of guys on this roster who were very complacent with where they were on the team, where they were on the roster, satisfied with their time. I'm happy for guys like Raekwon Davis. I'm happy for the Robert Hunts of the world. I'm happy for Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker hasn't signed yet, but happy for Christian Wilkins for getting paid. But some of those guys needed to go. It was time. And they were great players. Not great, but they were really good players while they were here. But it's time for a change in the Miami Dolphins. It needs to happen, right? So that's what it's about at this point, and that's what you're seeing is that, hey, there needs to be an attitude adjustment with this defense. Weaver's going to get some of his guys in here. He's going to mix them in with some of these guys that are here under contract, and they're going to say, hey, it's time to go. It's time to get after it. What he's not going to do, though, is keep that same team that he had last year, overpay those guys, and then they go out there and perform the same way they did. Because honestly, on both sides of the ball, we underachieved, to be completely honest with you, right? I know a lot of YouTube content creators won't say this, right? They will put it on one side of the ball or the other. But honestly, when it comes to Miami Dolphins and it comes to the football team, we underachieved on both sides of the football, offense and defense, right? There were times where the offense dropped the ball. There were times where the defense dropped the ball. There was times where both units dropped the ball. Time for both units, right? And special teams needs to be better too. Like we need to find a way to score some points on special teams, right? And I mean, we did some good jobs in the kicking game, right? But I want to see some plays made, some pump blocks, some kick blocks, right? I want to see some returns for a touchdown or return for long games. We got to find a way to get points wherever we can, right? And like there may be games where, hey, offense is playing bad, defense is playing bad. Hey, we need a spark from special teams. Maybe somebody got to go back there and return one. Be willing to catch it and go. Like that's what good football teams do. And that's where the Miami Dolphins need to be. And that's where we haven't been in the past. Now, Mike McDaniels has a lot to do with that. He does. He's got to step it up. He's got to turn up the tempo. There's got to be more competition. Practice has got to be tougher for those guys. And people don't talk about this, People won't have these conversations about the Miami Dolphins, but I'll say it. I know practice needs to be turned up to another level. It needs to be taken to another level. They need to bang on each other more. There needs to be more hitting in practice, more contact, more guys going to the ground. I'm just sorry. It's got to, the great teams do it. And you don't have to do it every day. But there needs to be moments built in practice where you know you're about to get after it. You know there's about to be some heat, some pressure, some iron sharpens iron, right? I felt like last year we had a really good roster. There was no reason for that roster not to be better in moments, right? In big moments, they should have been better. I'm not making excuses for them. The offense should have been better. Tua should have been better in moments. Tyreek should have caught balls in moments. Waddle should have made plays in moments. Everybody. We should have picked up those blocks, right? That's a part of it. So we will be better next year. Mike McDaniel needs to turn up the heat in that locker room. The plan and stuff, bro, it's got to be less of that. It's got to be more business. It's got to be more business oriented, right? I liked where we were last year, but man, I just didn't feel like we had that grit late in the season to go fight. Just didn't feel like we had it, right? We were missing something. And maybe it was Vic Fangio and the way he was kind of lackadaisical. I'm not putting it on him. I'm just saying maybe it was the way he kind of approached the defense. Maybe Weaver comes in a little bit more fired up. Maybe he's a younger guy. He's going to have those guys competing every day, firing off the ball, trying to take it to the offense. And I think that's how teams really get better is by, I mean, they practice versus each other a lot, right? So you don't see other teams. You see other teams once a week for 17 weeks, right? So you don't see them a lot, but you see each other every single day, off season, training camp, mini camps, all of this stuff. Like you gotta be pushing each other. You gotta be pushing each other. Utah, hey, shout out to the homie Q with the $2 donation. Shout out to the homie Q. What's good, Q? Hey, appreciate you, my Oos. He says, what's up, Oos? What's good with you, my boy? Let's go up for the homie Q. One time for the one time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Utah fan says we need to have a balanced offense. S. Harris says, I know Justin Houston wouldn't bring a Chiefs player in the locker room with Brooks or Barrett in there. Our boys were too passive for the most part. Not all, but some. And I agree with that, man. We just we gotta get a little bit tougher. Like, and that's why I do like other guys being implanted into the locker room. We need a culture change a little bit. We need that. It needs to happen. Utah fan says the teams that win Super Bowls have a solid running game. We had that, but McDaniel chose to pass it. I agree. McDaniel needs to find a way to get a runner in here who's going to tote that rock and who's going to pound it up in there, right? If you don't have that guy, we're going to struggle, especially when you go on the road or you get in the playoffs late in the season and you're dealing with cold weather or rainy weather or just poor weather conditions. Like, you got to be able to run the football. Lansing Moore says, I come to realize in CB83, you got some good ass positive vibes. It seemed like you always in a good spirit, bro. Always. I'm too blessed to stress. Always. Right? I mean, that's just my mindset, right? I'm above ground. I have nothing to complain about. Could be worse, right? There's a lot of people out there with worse lives than I have. I'm blessed. I'm always in good spirits. When I get to talk about the Miami Dolphins are my happy place, right? I understand that they're a football team, and that's what y'all got to understand. I played the game a long time, right? I've watched the game a long time. You got to realize that there is 31 other teams that don't win a Super Bowl every year, right? So winning a Super Bowl is a very hard thing to do. If you were just a Miami Dolphin fan because you want to see a Super Bowl, don't hold your breath, right? The Super Bowl is a cherry on the top thing for me, right? I want to see my team compete every year, go to the playoffs, have a shot at going to the Super Bowl. And that's what Mike McDaniel has given us. He's given us 2 back-to-back playoff appearances, right? We may have underachieved in those years, but right? We still have the opportunity to go to the playoffs. We went a lot of time. We went a long period without getting to the playoffs, right? I just want to see my guys go to the playoffs and compete each year in a playoff game, right? I know if we keep going, eventually we're going to win one. We're going to win a game. And I know if you win one game, shit, you can win two, right? Because it only takes getting to the playoffs one year and winning 3 or 4 games, and you're in the Super Bowl, right? So I really just want my guys to be able to get to the playoffs every year and compete for a title. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need a Super Bowl every year. I don't need a Super Bowl last year or next year. I just need you to get there and be competing for one. Because if you get in the dance, you got a shot at getting her number, right? But if you don't go to the dance, you ain't going to get her number, right? You can't write that down, write that number down on a piece of paper if you don't get in the dance, right? But if you go to the dance, you see her, right? You hanging on the wall, you go talk to her, you got a shot, right? But you can't do it if you outside the dance. You got to go. So I just want my team to go every year and compete in the playoffs. We're gonna get over that hump soon. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, we're gonna get over that hump soon. I think I'm trusting the process. I like what Mike McDaniel is doing as a coach, right? There are a few things he needs to adjust in terms of coaching style, playing style, the type of team he fields. He needs to field a more physical football team, especially on defense. So if you're going to be the type of team that's a finesse team on offense, I would like your defense to be super physical, right? Because what that super physical defense is going to do is it's going to put some pressure on you in practice to beat a very physical team, right? There might be some times where you got to get in the mud, right? So that's what I do like about the Weaver edition. I think he's gonna be a good addition to the coaching staff. I think he's gonna bring some physicality, some fierceness, right? Man, I think that's what it's gonna take. We need to have a super physical defense. Our offense can be finesse, but we also need to have some physicalness to us as well, right? And we need to be able to get in 12 and 22 personnel, be balanced, and run the football when need be. We really need 2 good tight ends. The best running formation is 12 personnel, 22 personnel, because you're balanced, right? When you get in 21 personnel, you're not very balanced at all. So when defenses see that 12 personnel and they see that 22 personnel, it's very hard for them because they don't know where you're running the football, right? Typically, right? If you're balanced out on both sides. So that's what I do like about the Jonnu Smith edition. I still think we should maybe add a tight end. And if Brock Bowers is there at 21, I'm not shying away from pulling the trigger on him. Point blank, period. If he's there at 21, I'm getting Brock Bowers. I'm lining up Jonnu Smith. Maybe Durham Smythe is the 3, and maybe we have to cut the other guys, or maybe we may move Durham Smythe somewhere. But I'm getting Brock Bowers, and I'm lining up Jonnu Smith, and my offense is almost set once we get the interior taken care of, right? I think that's the play right there. But the Miami Dolphins will be a better football team this year. I'm banking on it. I'm banking on it. I know we had some good players leave, but I also think some of those guys were very lackadaisical. There wasn't a lot of attention to detail. I thought there were some attitude issues there. And I think some of those guys will be gone. And I think it's going to be much better for the locker room, much better for the culture. I think we'll have more guys willing to work hard, turn things up, turn it up a notch, because that's what needs to happen, right? That's where we need to be, man. We just need to be a better football team this year. And that's what I'm hoping, man. I see y'all in the chat. Let's get through some of these real quick. Shout out to the homies who donated, Q and the homie Pittsburgh Dolphin. I appreciate the donation, guys. Lenny, what's good with you? What you think about Mike Williams? Mike Williams is solid. I honestly like Mike Williams, and we need a big body receiver, a possession guy, somebody who can maybe line up in the slot or outside, go across that middle, make a play, slant, fade ball. I like Mike Williams. I take Mike Williams in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Maybe he makes the move to Miami. Maybe he doesn't. We'll see. We'll see. Greer's definitely working though. Some trade ideas and what is the value you think they are worth? Ooh, trade. Y'all don't want to hear my trade ideas. Oh man, just imagine this, right? I know we got, and I'm not. I mean, let's be real. We don't have many trade options on our roster. If anybody was up for trade right now, it probably, and who has value, it probably be Javon Holland. It probably be we haven't really seen enough of Cam Smith. Nobody has. Jalen Phillips is coming off an injury. Nobody's trading for that. Chubb's coming off an injury. Nobody's trading for that. Interior defensive line, we don't have anybody to trade for. Offensively, nobody's trading for any of our offensive linemen. Trading for running back, maybe Mostert has some value. I don't know. He's old, right? The only players I think have value in the trade market right now is Waddle and Holland. That's who has trade value. Now, I think the best trade right now would be a Waddle trade. And then it's not something I want to do, but it would definitely be, A-Chain would be a trade option, Luch. But Waddle would have the trade value. And if there was any trade, a blockbuster trade that the Miami Dolphins would and should pull off, and like I love Waddle, I don't think the Miami Dolphins would trade Waddle, or there would be a conversation like, hey, this is going to give you a better opportunity. You're going to go to this team to be a number one receiver, and you're going to get 15 to 20 targets a game, right? They would have to have that conversation with him. But I think the Waddle trade would be the best because this draft is stacked with wide receiver, like Ted said, right? So you could trade Waddle for maybe a first and a second or a first and a third, right? And you could pick up another wide receiver who's maybe just as good as Waddle. I'm not going to say better, but maybe just as good or maybe slightly a little bit lower. And you can also pick up another pick, maybe in the second or third, to get you an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. So you have Waddle coming up for a contract, right? You got him coming up for a contract. So it's only right that we get ahead of it, right? Because we have these conversations about all these guys we're letting walk. We don't want to pay. Just Gang says nobody's giving you a 1 1/3 for Waddle. What do we get for Waddle in a trade? You guys tell me what you think we get for a Waddle trade. Do we get 2 seconds, a first and a third? Just Gang said we're not getting a first and a third. Glenn Paliker says we should trade Tyreek Hill. I don't think you trade Tyreek Hill because he's already under contract, right? I don't know if anybody takes on that contract. I mean, they probably would. But I feel like Tyreek is definitely the number one guy. He's the alpha on our receiver core, right? He's the guy that says, give me the ball because I'm going to make the play. I don't know if Waddle can step into that role and be that. He's done it before, but he hasn't done it kind of carrying the load by himself. And I'm not saying he can't do it. I think it's just something we haven't seen. What is Hill went for 1, AJ went for 18, 15 to 20 a first. Lenny says trade Waddle, get the picks, pick up Mike Williams and fill the holes. Ooh, Lenny, you talking because I think if you trade Waddle and you get the picks, you fill the hole with one of these great wide receivers who are coming out. And that's the thing about these receivers. These receivers coming out can play, dog. These dudes can play. They're on another level, right? So these dudes can play, right? Just imagine you trade Waddle, pick up a receiver, you still have your first. Just imagine if you pick up another first. So you get a first for Waddle, and you pick up you pick up the tight end, right? And you pick up a wide receiver, or you pick up an interior defensive lineman like a JPJ or somebody. Bro, you got so many options. You really do have so many options if you pull off a trade like that, right? Now, just imagine if, yeah, I mean, bro, there's just so many possibilities. There really is. Marco says Giants would trade for Hill. I mean, yeah, there's teams that would definitely trade for Hill. Glenn Paliker says Tyreek Hill is the answer, multiple picks, and get rid of his contract. Man, I don't know, man. So, I mean, you extend Waddle, you trade Tyreek, and like you pick up a wide receiver. I feel like you're still young. Your receiver unit still. I think you need Tyreek Hill to kind of man the unit. I think you need him to be that leader in the room. You said why not trade Hill? Waddle is younger. I like Waddle, guys. I really do like Waddle, but he's not as good of a player. He's not as dynamic as Tyreek Hill. I just feel like this offense is made for Tyreek Hill. The other wide receivers can fill in as need be. And Waddle is a good receiver. I love Waddle. I love Waddle as a player. I love him as a person. I think he's a real solid dude. And I don't think they want to be split up. But I think Waddle could have a great opportunity somewhere else, being a one, being the guy, and giving himself the opportunity to go fly, right? Ted S says I wouldn't trade Hill. He moves the offense. He does, and that's where I'm at on it. I think it's just he does move the offense. He says we can't pay everyone. I love Waddle, but if a team offer first and a third, I would send Waddle since we don't have enough draft capital this year. Wide receiver can be found in any round this year. I agree. That's spot on. That's spot on. Because I think, and the guys, we talk about getting ahead of this shit, right? We talk about getting ahead of it. We talk about Chris Greer and waiting too late. He needs to probably extend Waddle this offseason, or move him, or figure out an alternative, because you can't keep letting these guys get into their the last years of their contract and giving them the opportunity to go bet on yourself. No, we can't give guys that opportunity. We've seen guys bet on themselves and win year after year after year. At some point, you need to lock these dudes up early, right? Pay them while they're cheaper, or move them for picks. Some of these guys, look, and this is the problem with Miami Dolphins fans. We fall in love with these players, but we got to understand that we got to move. We're going to have to move some of these guys. There should be maybe between 1 and 3 guys every year that get moved for draft capital. Good players too. I think good players need to get moved for draft capital so you can start rebuilding and draft the next guys. I think that's part of it. So you got to do that. Hooked Up Joe says no one is taking on that Hill contract, and we can't handle that cap hit to move Hill. I agree with that. Is Tua going to be productive with just Hill though? No, I think we could draft a guy and pick up other guys in free agency. There's still some guys out there. Mike Williams. You could draft. The receivers coming out are really good. Jay Nedick says Wilkins and Siler didn't want to split, but look at salt and pepper now. Yeah, no salt and pepper now. It's just salt. And we waiting on seasoning salt because we about to get Fist from FSU. Let's go, man. Hopefully we can get Fist. Fist is a dog, man. Hey, but I just wanted to come to you guys real quick, talk about free agency a little bit. Hey, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. I appreciate you guys. A little 15-minute show just to chop it up, talk about free agency. We'll get more engaging as we get to the weekend. I'll drop the link for you guys for you to come up, have some discussions, but start thinking about some of these moves we need to make, whether it's trades or whether it's The draft is coming up. It's going to be interesting to see like who we go after. Once we've kind of wrapped up free agency, we're going to get into talk about some of these draft prospects because it's coming. We definitely need to have some of these conversations about the draft prospects. We're almost done with free agency. Once that's a wrap, we start getting into that, man. So, hey, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, day one, shout out to you, man. Good stuff. Appreciate you. Hey, salute, homie. Salute, Sway. Salute to you, homie. Fins up. Hey, let's get it, man. Shout out to the homies for pulling up. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. It's Fins with CB3, and your boy is out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I told him out of my way. I don't got nothing to say.